Hey everybody, byscreenside here today, bringing you a quick studio apartment renovation. My first one for the city living that I have done for sharing on the gallery. I've of course played the pack a little bit and moved a sim into an apartment, so I've done a little bit of renovation throughout gameplay, but like this is my first thing to share for the gallery, so I'm excited to have finally gotten the time to be able to do this. When I sat down to do it last night, somebody I follow on the gallery was uploading a bunch of stuff, so that's what those notifications are in the corner. But yeah, anyway, so this is a $34,000 studio apartment. It fits into a lot or a an apartment in the fashion district. I believe it's either 211312 Chic Street or 131221, something like that. And so I sort of named the build something similar so it would be easy to tell where in the city it's supposed to go. And there is a link to download this in the description if you decide that you would like to download this into your game. You can do that now. Um, I do have to say that it I am disappointed that there was not a better system in place for sharing apartments to the gallery. I don't think using the room system is like very, I don't know. I mean, it's not the worst thing. I mean, at least we can share it in some way, but I'm just disappointed that the ability to share in the gallery wasn't thought through a little bit further. I mean, I know that some people are disappointed with not having elevators, and I know that some people are disappointed with not being able um, to like renovate the exterior walls or build entire apartment buildings or what have you. Um, but yeah, I don't mind that stuff as much, but I am frustrated that like these can only be shared as rooms. I just thought it should have been better planned out a little bit. So when you download this into the gallery, you will have to add a wall um, to complete the bathroom. I had to delete a tile of wall so that it would be considered all one room. Um, so yeah, you just have to replace that one tile of wall and then copy the wallpaper or repaint the walls on either side. It's simple enough, but yeah, I just would have liked to have seen that had been included more organically into the game somehow. So, but yeah, this is all just like one, a studio apartment, if you're not familiar with the terminology, means like it's basically all one room. Like usually you will have like a separate bathroom area, but technically like the bedroom and the kitchen and the living room, it's all sort of in one room, which is very, very common in city living. So, of course, at least in terms of New York, that's for sure. I know that it's extremely expensive to live in New York. I have not lived in New York. I've actually never been to New York City. I've been to New York upstate, like near the lake, the Great Lake. I think it's Lake Erie up there, or is it Lake Ontario? Now I can't remember. But yeah, I've been to like that area of New York. That's very pretty. And so I've driven through the state, but I've never been like to the big city part of New York. Interestingly enough. So, or not interestingly enough, I'd love to go someday, but then again, like I am not the sort of person that tolerates like personal space being violated very very well. Like I read in like an article one time, I think it was, that people who grow up in cities tend to need less personal space than people that grow up in like more rural areas of the world. So I think that's really interesting. And I think that that's true. Like your personal space bubble, it just makes sense. Like your personal space bubble when you're used to having a lot more space would be like bigger, if you're not used to being in like crowded subways and things like that. And that is definitely the case. Like I get all creeped out when like somebody's like looking over my shoulder or whatever, I'm like, oh, get away. Terrible. Uh, but yeah, it's a total truth. I 100% believe that. So I don't think that. I mean, I'm sure I could visit. I'm sure a visit wouldn't, you know, wouldn't kill me. But I don't think that would, like, be living in a big city would be ideal for me. But then again, like, I really love the when I'm playing in San Myshuno, I really like the ambiance of the city skyline outside of the window, and just being able to like go run downstairs, or run down, quote unquote downstairs. That's what they call it in the game, or that's what it's called in the game. It'll say go downstairs whenever you select the elevator. Um, but yeah, I like that you can run downtown or downstairs or whatever, and into the market and see like what's going on down on the street. That's really cool. Um, by the way, this apartment, I definitely took full advantage of all the bright colors and patterns in this pack. I love that sort of thing. It's very much up my alley. I like mixing prints and patterns in similar color palettes, which is what I did with this studio apartment. I used primarily like reds and greens and purples. So the green kind of like tones down the red, and also, the neutral colored walls. I started to put some color on the walls, but then I decided with the bright print on the rug and the bright print on the colors, or on the colors on the curtains and on the bed, like I felt like neutral walls would just kind of anchor it down a little bit. And then yeah, that but if it's still too much for you in terms of the patterns, like I feel like when the colors are similar, the patterns don't overwhelm too much, and I like that mixture of patterns. But if you don't like this apartment can be easily toned down by just replacing, this rug with a all solid color rug, or by like replacing the swatches on the curtains in the bed would be another way to do it. So it's really easy if you want to tone it down if you don't like it, but I like it. I also like the new hanging lights with these sort of lantern, fluffy lanterns. Yep, that's what I'm going with. Fluffy lantern ceiling hanging lights. Those are really cool. Um, yeah. So I wound up taking, at first I built a bar in the kitchen, then I wound up taking out and replacing with a table, because for a studio apartment, there really is a lot of counter space. I have a two-bedroom apartment and I have no counter space. It's a frustration every day. Like, it makes me so sad. And I built, I did the renovation, and then I kind of realized I forgot to really finish off the kitchen, so I came back and did that. So this is just a really super quick little video. I don't know if I mentioned before, but the apartment cost is about 34,000 simoleons, a little bit under, and you can download it. If you have not seen it yet, I have started my City Living Let's Play. It's been a lot of fun just in the first episode so far. If you haven't seen it, it's about a couple of girls who are best friends that moved to the city together. And so if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's a fun time. And also, coming up right now, it's looking like just after Thanksgiving, I'll be sharing a special collaboration video, so look for that to be coming up. And here are some screenshots of the studio apartment. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!